Yo, it's your boy G. What up? I'm on with my boy Noble. We on CFR Sports, baby. We getting it in. We going live.
Good day, good night, all. Welcome back to the broadcast. Special guest with me today. Trustfully, everybody is well. Thank yourself for surviving another year. Tumultuous kind of start to this combat sports landscape, but I'm very excited to have a special guest with me. Greg Hardy, welcome to the broadcast, sir. How are we today?
What's up? What's up, man? I'm good, bro. Pleasure to be here. Happy to make the acquaintance of everybody in the UK.
Definitely, and glad to have you. As I say, it's been a while. We've seen all types of headlines. We've seen you obviously in the UFC. You've had a pro football career. You know, you've been doing boxing of late, and now I'm hearing this BKFC. So we're really rounding out the experiences within multiple combat sports realms, man. It's an interesting time, man. 2023, man. How are things on your end, sir?
It's going good, brother. We ended out the year with a great win. We started out this year planning and then scheming on them. Obviously, we going into every fight sport possible. You might see me in kickboxing next week, but mostly we just scheming on this boxing world, man. Bare knuckle boxing, regular boxing. We're gonna climb the ladder like I did in UFC, man, and it's a really exciting time for me.
Excellent, excellent. One question, because the tenacity, the talent is clearly there in regards to your historical life. There was an inhaler situation that took place, which is all
In,
kind of crazy and stuff.
Inhaler
Like,
gate.
yeah, that's what it was. Like, that's what it was. Now, based upon what we saw, like everything was like Din said, "Yo, I've got this. Like, is it okay to use it? Yeah, go and use it. I've never seen it before done, but like it was all said like it was not a problem. But then,
Above board. Above
yes,
board. I
exactly.
didn't sneak it. I didn't sneak it. I didn't hide it. I didn't
Has that?
even really need it. I was like, you didn't hear that over the interviews. I was like, yo, he was like, do you need it? I was like, I mean, I don't need it, but if I can have it,
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
it's fair.
Totally, totally. And it's for the respiratory system. This is not like, the other things. It's not EPO. It's not anything like that. This is like, come on, people. So, based upon that, which is quite public, have you ever been in a situation where you've have it potentially needed to between rounds or like had to utilize an inhaler or anything like that?
Nah, man, it's a 100% want thing,
Okay.
Being an athlete my whole life, brother. Like, even in basketball, like when you're out there in basketball, you don't have time to go. And I don't know if you know this, I played college level all the way through the NIT. Like, went to the SEC championship, started a couple games in the SEC championship, like big time basketball. So like you don't have time to go there and pump the inhaler, man. Or like in between plays when you're banging it out against Tom Brady on a 2 minute drive, brother. You don't have time to go there and bang it out. So like I prepared my lungs throughout my life to be ready for the worst situations. But if there's an instance where like, hey, I have an actual disability
Hmm.
and I can correct it to make the playing field even, I would like to take that if possible. But
Sounds
I mean,
fair and above
obviously,
board, most definitely.
yeah, I obviously didn't know the rules in MMA though, so you know how it goes. And as much as they don't want to say it, man, when you about as much as they want to say it about me, it's true. Like when you're an icon, brother, when you're a major entertainer, man, anything you do is gonna be blown up. It's either gotta be very bad or very good, and this time it's been
Mm.
very bad.
Definitely, definitely. But at the same time, clutching at straws, very much clutching at straws in that respect. It was,
They
you know,
got to, baby. They can't get rid of
well, this
it.
is it, man. This is it. I mean, there was all kind of stuff, but ultimately, what I really enjoyed, um, especially within the UFC, is, as I say, your tenacity, your growth in regards to your skill level, obviously, because it takes time to switch from sport to sport and to get in there, get the actual proper cage time down. So the involvement was very good. I was disappointed that you obviously, you had to part ways, etc. MMA still something that you're interested in pursuing at some point, or you're just totally 100% focused on mainly the striking, the pugilism side?
You get down to it, man. I feel like people don't really get the opportunity to understand me and know me. And if you know me, like my friends know me, like my teammates know me, like I love to dominate things. I don't get into sports or business to play around or to go half ass and BS, man. So I got into MMA to dominate. Though it was a avenue for me to get to boxing, I 100% wanted to dominate, but I didn't have that path set out for me to where like I had the opportunity to catch up in everything.
Mm.
So like I locked in, I put all the time and effort I could into everything that would get me there to the top, and then once we got to the top, man, they did what businesses do. They threw the entertainment fights, which was wrestlers for me, and I didn't unfortunately have enough time to just lock down 20 years of wrestling in
Yes.
2 years.
Yes. Yes.
But
Very
yo,
good point.
I'm definitely going back, man. I'm gonna sneak back around, even if it's just a quick celebrity fight against one of those top rank guys, just to bust them up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bang them around, so I can really wrestle after I do some work and
Mm,
get a sneaky win in somewhere, bro, just to rub it in their faces. But I feel like I'm
definitely.
definitely going back.
Well, look, the landscape is potentially laid out of sorts with a potential PFL, that super fight, Jake Paul kind of
Nah,
thing.
nah, man. I want to slide in and slap Cyril Gane around after he loses John next. You know what I mean?
One,
Oh yeah, you know
okay.
what I mean. I want one of those big assassins. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, man, people, no matter who I fight, bro. I've been to Russia and fought the biggest, baddest people on the planet. I
Mm,
didn't. They didn't flew the biggest, heaviest people in to fight me, the nastiest wrestlers, and I done banged up against all of them. But as soon as I go against, a super talented 12-1
striker.
Rockman, they're like, he's too big. You know what I mean? Like. So
Mm,
like so to actually get that full effect of the story, man, I want to go against the Titan like and I want to bang his head. You know what I mean?
that would be interesting because the movements of
Entertainment,
Cyril, it would most definitely be
pure
entertaining.
entertainment.
You've definitely got
And
the
like,
power advantage.
is it crazy? Like, you're not gonna believe it, bro. But I can post some videos, but like nobody's gonna believe it unless you really track me and know me, and like know I'm a super athlete. Like me and Cyril basically are the same guy, bro, except I'm 320. Like
Okay.
I'm spin kicking, heel kicking, flying knees, switching stances. I just didn't get the opportunity to move into that part of my game because I was worried
Ah,
about wrestlers. You know what I mean? I'm implementing
yes.
the whole wrestling strategy. So I think that would be
Mm,
entertaining. I think the world would love that. Coming soon,
I'll, yeah, man. Come into a flipping octagon, possibly, real soon. Now, you know what? That would be a hella interesting fight.
big time heavyweights, man. It's
So
the
what's
age of
up?
the heavyweight, I believe.
It's getting there. It's getting real spicy. And now with Mr. Jones, take again. Let's take. I mean, there's always, as we spoke of pre-recording, a redemption story. Everyone can make mistakes and stuff. John has definitely, outside of his fighting life, he's most definitely tainted his legacy with all the stupid stuff he's done.
Can we
Uh,
talk? Can we talk about that though?
yeah,
Is it you know what I always think about, man? Is it not crazy that all the people you look up to in sports right now have the same story as all the people you don't want to look up to
yes.
right now? Like all the people that you're bashing right now that are actually in sports have the same story as all the people that you look up to as gods right now in sports.
Mm, mm.
All the Mike Tysons, all the Michael Jordans, all the Patrick Ewans, and bro, each one of them. Your favorite basketball player, your favorite football player, like you want to tell me about LT?
Mm,
You want to you want to
mm.
tell me about Michael Irvin? Like, come on now.
Er,
They're the immortals of this era, man. He got the same
yes.
story as Jon Jones. Like, they're great men, bro. But we didn't went to college. We didn't went to high school. We didn't went to
Yeah.
the 5 a.m. workouts. We didn't done everything that you don't see, and still was out there at the party with you, doing everything you do see,
Mm,
and dealing with even greater responsibilities, taking care of our family, dealing with the
yes.
crazies that come with the money.
Yes.
So like, yo, you're gonna fail, bro. And I feel like people just so easily overlook that. It's crazy to me. It's crazy.
you raise a very good point, but to play righteous advocate, there's always I don't necessarily would say all of the names you've mentioned 100%, but there are other greats who haven't necessarily taken that route. No, not
I
taken
mean,
that route.
go down the list. I would love to hear. I would love to hear the icon list that you got. This unstained.
You know what I'm gonna do. I've wrote this down. I've written this down. Let's use the correct English. I've written this down, and when we have our part two, we'll revisit that because at the top of my
I
head,
can't wait.
the only person I can think of, and it's a European brother, is GSP in regards to the MMA sort of scene.
And he deserves every flower, bro. Oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, there are some out there for sure.
Yeah.
But when you just think about this. There's only these are the 1% of the 1%. So there's only so
Ex
many of them.
yes, it's a
And
small
if you can
pool.
only come up with one or two that did it perfectly,
Mm, mm,
that's still
mm.
outrageous.
Yes.
There's 98% of the rest of them that you still deify that
Mm,
have fallen over and over again
mm.
and got the opportunity to come back. But people understood back then, like people related easier, more easily because
And
times were harder. You know what I mean? Like it's like, dang, that man is going through it. Like
mm. But you know what? Another
I understand the prosecution. I understand the whatchamacallit. I understand this, that, and the other. All the stuff that happens, like it was just more empathy.
yes, but I think which heightens it is it's this social media age and era that we're in where everyone is so accessible. Back then, 80s, 90s, all we had was
Exactly.
the Inquirer, for instance, with the salacious headlines, or maybe a tabloid here and there, or maybe word of mouth. There was no definitive, look, we've got the tape, we've seen the video, and this person was there, they've got it on their phone, and so that kind of mystique was still there. Oh, there was a rumor of that. There was rumor of steroids in the WWF. Now the WWE. When I was growing up, Greg, I would steroids, the ultimate. It didn't even enter my brain. Performance enhancing drugs. What did no? They're just big,
It
strong
really
wrestlers.
wouldn't even matter if he was talking about like Sting or somebody like that to me. Like I would have laughed at you. So
Yes.
that's his natural disposition. Shut the
Yes.
hell up talking to me. That's how he wake up in the
Mm,
morning.
yes. And he just
You
lifts
couldn't
a
have
few
told me nothing
weights.
else.
Yeah, man. And also another thing which you've got to bring into this as well is that only it's the elite of the elite, and it's only a certain set of people who have the intestinal fortitude, just use that phrase, the mental toughness, the heart, the physical, the emotional, the spiritual whereabouts for them to be able to allow themselves to compete, punching the hell, kicking the hell, and trying to damage their opponent to actually win. That takes a very strong and a very small section of people who can do that at the highest level.
Yeah, and it's crazy that you say that. It's an even smaller percentage that can do that consistently and balance that with family life and be a be the superhuman being that everybody wants you to be too.
Yeah.
Along the lines of our point, like
Mhm.
it's a rough road to go down, brother. Like it's a 9 to 5, just like any other 9 to 5, man. We all going crazy out here at our job, man. Like, I don't know, everybody thinks it's different.
And the stakes are even higher because, as you say, it is exactly as you say, a 9 to 5, but you're putting your health on the line,
Life on the line
just
every day.
and expand your life because this is no play for our entertainment as a combat sports connoisseur, and I love it. It is distressing. It is distressing to know that you're pursuing your dreams. A lot of the times fighters are coming in fighting injured, and then
Yeah.
they're this crazy MMA model of this. I mean, a lot of the casuals, they know about it now because it's a lot more in the public, but a lot of my friends, for instance, were a little bit more casual. When I explained to them this, like when Leon Rocky Edwards became the champ representing Brum in
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica, they were like, yeah, my man he must be killing, he must be like chilling now. He's got a whole heap of money. He must have made like two couple million for that fight. So I said, no,
Oh
no,
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 no.
no.
It does not work like that, unfortunately. It's a
It's
massive brand. but you they've got this boxing model in their head where, okay, you agree to fight. This is the money to fight. As long as you show up, you're getting your money. No, no, there's a show and win model. And then the money that we're talking about is just ridiculous for people putting their life on the line every time to step into that cage.
Man, and you gotta throw in no health insurance, no like so once they take care of whatever they take care of, like whatever you got long lasting, you gotta pay for that stuff. You gotta pay your coaches, you gotta pay the gyms, you gotta like pay taxes.
This
Yo,
is
you're drained with it. By the end of it, you get your portion, bro. You're drained. It's a McDonald's check because
mm,
you're not gonna fight for another 6 months.
mm.
It's
It's
crazy.
it really is. But again, it just shows that the determination and people thinking, if one more fight.
So so this is along the lines of what I was saying though. So like what you just described, you understand it is crazy, is what we're saying, yes?
Yes.
But you can so easily disrespect a man like Jon Jones that has done that and broken every single record and done it in every better than everybody else in every way possible. And it's just so easily to put disrespect on his name. It's so easily to understand what he was going through. Like we don't understand that.
No.
Nobody understands that. Nobody's been through what he's been through. Nobody's
Mm,
put the hurt on his body and strain on his and the stress of his brain of being the youngest champion in the world and defending it so many times and
mhm.
having everybody in your face telling you that you're a god and everything's great and you know what I mean? Just like honestly, bro, like it blows my mind. Like I would rather people be like, okay, it happens. Like let's stop feeling bad for them because they're getting banged up. That's their choice. I would love that. Okay, deal. But the other side of that deal is, yo, you got to respect the people on top, bro, because they did it all plus some. They deserve a little bit of leeway. Be mad at the other guys. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like,
It's
and I'll
it's
be,
pe-
it's
it's
crazy.
it is, and it's peeling back the layers, and it's. I think John hasn't necessarily done himself any favors with the silence. I mean, I think just coming on Instagram, if he didn't even want to have an interview with Ariel or whoever, just coming on and just talking like, look, this, I messed up. Like, I'm human. Like, look, this is my struggle, kind of thing. Like. But as you
Yeah.
say, and as we're highlighting, and I think people are going to listen to this and actually think, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, we all fall. It's terrible the kind of things he's done. I mean, like, and
Yo,
this
but
is
you're not
where,
wrong though in what you're saying. You're
of
not, yo,
course,
what
not.
you're saying is, believe it or not, what you're saying is some front of the house, White House, like teach tape kind of stuff, bro. Like that's that you should sell that on the internet, bro. Like, cause I'm not, you like I feel like people really don't like they think that we know this. Like you think if I knew, like, yo, if I would have got out and made a speech and did all that when I was at Carolina, if that would have made it better, I wouldn't have did it. They was telling me not to, obviously, but
Mm,
I wasn't. I'm a young kid, bro, with a bunch of money. I wasn't thinking like, yo, if I get in trouble, they got to pay me less if I come back. They
mm,
don't want me to talk.
mm,
Or my agent, like, yo, he don't get a cut if I go out and talk and mess this up, but he can salvage it and get a cut of the next check if he just
mm.
makes it work. Not in the best of not for my best interest, just makes it work in general. You get what I'm saying? So
Yes,
like, yo,
yes,
I'm sure if he knew, like, if we knew that, bro, we definitely would have come. I was like, look at me and you. If somebody would have came, like, you're a great interviewer, bro. Like, if somebody would have came to me and said, hey, let's talk about it. I would
yeah.
have, but like, I got an interviewer that asked me all the BS questions and wanted to trap me and wouldn't let me talk. You know,
Mm. And that's what
and
is,
that's how it goes, and that's
I
what
don't
we're
know,
scared of because it's
of
over with if you mess it up.
100%, 100%. And this is why I think more people are recognizing that the power in your own creating your own social media and your own media platform, or alternatively, reaching out
Mm-hmm.
to those solid integrity filled interviewers, podcasters who aren't going to be like, let's put a real clickbaity title up. Let's try and trap Greg and put him into some kind of crazy scenario and we'll clip this out and we'll do this. No, that's not what it's about. That's for the fickle-minded people who just want
Yep.
to be entertained. That's not what it's about. We want people to think. We want people to try and to understand, to overstand, to understand what the situation is. What implications does it have for this person who's an athlete, this artist, this person? How does that trickle down to me? Can I borrow anything? Can I learn anything from this situation? You know,
Yep. Exactly, bro.
it's a big wide world, man. It's a big wide world, and
It's changing
know,
too fast.
it's Very much so. I mean, what are your thoughts on this up and coming Cyril Gane and Jon Jones heavyweight clash? Who you
I mean,
got on that?
I threw my dig at Cyril, bro, but I got mad respect for the brother, man. He's worked very hard. You know, he's came in and he's shown how dynamic he is, and like and improved on top of that, brother. Like, so I don't want to say he's gonna get destroyed. I think it's gonna be a very good fight, but I'm a Jon Jones fan simply because like I've seen the work, I've seen the product, I've seen his demeanor. I know what kind of family he comes from.
Hmm.
That's a champion, man, and I think he's gonna end. I think he's gonna endure, and I think just for the story, man, being one of those guys that has a story that's on the
Yes.
comeback line, like I want to see him win. So I'm going for Jon Jones, probably like in the third or decision because he's a scientist, brother. I mean, and
Mm,
Cyril is himself as well, but he's a baby scientist. You know what I mean? He's just starting,
yes, you raise
and with that
excellent
comes a lot of
points.
arrogance. There comes a lot of mistakes made, a lot of mistakes that are being made for the first time. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? John's already made all those mistakes.
Yes, experience wise, head to head and shoulders, like Jones should indeed win this. Third to fourth rounds. The only issues I'm having is this long layoff. The layoff has been tremendous. The game has not exactly moved on, but it's definitely elevated. Heavyweight is no joke at the moment. There are some real talented heavyweights out there. So if John is able to out, because
Yeah.
what we've got to think of as well, John hasn't taken much punishment. John hasn't really. The Gustafsson fight, I guess, was one of the most. He hasn't taken. Oh, and sorry, well,
That
Thiago,
was violent.
that was violent, most definitely. But Thiago did tune him up as well, and and
Yeah.
and I guess Dominic Reyes, more than many people. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I actually think Reyes kind of stole that a little bit. I think that was a bad decision.
You know, it depends on who you're talking to because I've had this conversation with a lot of people, not just about Jon Jones in general, but like judging fights. If you're asking a regular fan, yeah, Reyes got that one, bro. But at the end of the day, if you're talking about like fighting wise, Jon Jones just has a way of stealing points in the fight. So he's
Yes.
dominating the fight when it doesn't even look like he's dominating the fight. Like
Hmm.
just those little teep kicks,
Yes.
those little fake wrestling shots. The Reyes on his back foot as much as it was like, yeah, he was coming forward when he was winning, but it's just like all those times when Jones is just dominating him, like yo, it steals the round, man.
The point fighting.
It's not like you can't have a you can't have a flashy fight against John. Like if you catch him, he's gonna wobble, come back, and then win the round, which is something
Mm,
you don't hear that like you've never seen that
no.
except for with like exceptional people like Anderson Silva, like GSP. Like yo, GSP is bloody as hell 90% of his fights, but like how many rounds has he lost, bro? Like it's
Mm,
ridiculous. So and I think that's how John fights, and that's why he wins. And some people have a problem with him winning like that. But to
it's
go back to your point, to end my point, and go back to your point of the time passing him by, he was already ahead of his time, so that they're just catching up to what he was doing. He's had, and he's had all this off time to develop what he's already been ahead of the time with. So
I
that's all I'll
love
say about
it.
that.
Greg, I love it. I love I love it. I absolutely love what you're
Just
saying because
facts, just facts.
it's true. It is really true. It is really true. But I gotta bounce back a little bit. I gotta bounce back. Because Penny, because you're right. You're 100% correct. He has become in the last few of his fights a lot more calculated and safe, air quotes, in regards to his historical wild, his spinning back elbows. He was doing the thing, man. Stephen Bonner, Rising Paradise. That match, them throws and stuff he was doing. What? I want to see that, John. I
Demon.
want to see that Jon Jones come back at heavyweights with some more power. And I want to see him take man's out like he was doing when he was 21.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, we here, we here. That's what I want to see.
Oh yeah, no, bro. And I think you're gonna see it. Like honestly, just what like even being able to like learn how to throw punches at heavyweight, like yo, believe it or not, like I started throwing less powerful punches just because like I realized like I didn't need to hit people hard.
Mm,
I'm heavy. And I
mm,
feel like, yo, what people are gonna see is like you're gonna see the same Jon Jones, but it's gonna look different because them
mhm,
punches are gonna hit different, brother. Like
mm.
just like yo, like even like look at a Derek Lewis, man. Like the reason Derek Lewis can bang for so or not can, but does bang for so long is because like yo, 50% of them shots aren't hitting.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you're hitting the arm and it hurt. It sucks,
Mm,
but they're not killers. Like imagine yo, I don't want to pretend like I know Jon Jones' numbers, but like if you go back and look, like imagine like somebody hitting you with heavyweight power that many percentage of times, like having like a 95% like completion percentage
yes,
for punches
yes.
landed. Like yo,
Hmm.
you would be in a coma
Of
if
course, of
as a
course. You were,
heavyweight.
you were,
Yeah.
you're not
So that's the scary
withstanding
part
that.
for me.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
no. So it's a little bit different. Yeah, the heavyweight game has been advancing, but like it's just it's a lot of unknowns, bro. Like, but that's what makes it exciting as hell too. Because like at the same time, Cyril has the same exact advantage.
hmm hmm Yes, yes.
So
But
I'm
as
excited.
I'm hella excited. As many people are, very disappointed, but at the same time joyous of Francis's, freedom, should we
He's
say?
representing.
He's
Yeah, he's
he's
representing.
he's doing it, man. I mean, in trustfully, most high willing, we're still here and stuff. We'll look back 10 years down the line and say that was the point where it started to change. And now we can see the fighters in a kind of scene in the early to mid 2000s where fighters would be in Bellator, a fighter would then be in the UFC, a fighter would go over to One, to Rising, to PFL and be successful, not
Yeah.
just under the one banner, utilizing all of those
Yep.
promotions.
It's gonna change. It's gonna change. It's gonna change the game, bro. It's gonna make it like one of the commercial sports, NFL, football, baseball. Like it's just gonna be UFC's a team.
Mm,
It's one of the teams,
hmm
and you got five big teams. You know what I mean? And you know what I saw emerging that was super cool with some of the smaller guys. I think yo one in Bellator did it with Kyoji. They were
Yes.
cross promotion fighting for the belts, bro. Like
Mm.
that right there. That's bro. That's like back in the day when you were playing like the Eagles, the Cowboys. Like
Ooh.
that's
Troy
that's
Aikman.
that's that's lifetime numbers, bro. Like I feel like
Yes.
that's what you could get. Like if you build those other promotions up, and like if this works out, if Francis goes somewhere else, and he actually has, like you said, a successful career, and he starts to like make that an option. You don't have to like go somewhere else when your UFC career dies. You can leave while you're hot,
Mm.
bro. Like it'll change the fight game. It'll make it more entertaining for the actual regular, like you said, casual fan.
Yes.
Because like that's where the entertainment value goes. Like because the UFC fan, the longtime fan, we're gonna enjoy any fight, brother. At the end of the day, like yo, I love Francis, but like it worked out good for me because I wanted to see Cyril John more than I wanted to see Francis Cyril or
Mm.
Francis John. So
hmm
I'm sorry,
Mm.
but
Mm.
like for the casual fan, bro, like it's gonna send the sport through the roof. We're just gonna do more numbers. It's gonna be good, better for everybody.
Yes. More eyes. It's not going to be the dominant force of the U. And don't
Mm-hmm.
get it wrong, UFC,
UFC's
outside of all
dope.
the they're dope, man. They've done their thing. It's what they're one of outside of Pride, obviously going and all the rest of that stuff. They're North America wise, they're the guys. They're definitely the guys. But we need to have more of the gap being leveled between the PFL and Bellator and
Yeah,
Rising and One. They need to be pretty much on the same kind of level. Not like most people are saying like UFC is number one. Then it's a tie between Bellator and PFL kind of thing. And then I guess some people might say, oh, we can probably throw Rising in there and then One. I wouldn't necessarily have that in that order. North American wise, I guess we could say UFC, PFL, then I guess Bellator. But if we just look at the promotions in themselves, PFL they haven't got name value, but they're fighters, they're athletes. There's some tough guys, man. There are some tough guys doing some numbers in the women's side, not as
yeah. They've
deep.
been doing way better. Yeah, they've been doing
Yes,
way better, bro.
100%, man, 100%. And we just need people just to come outside of the veil of oh, let's go watch UFC. No, no, no. Let's watch MMA. And what promotion are you gonna watch? Because there are options. Yeah.
Exactly, man. And but I will say it will take a little bit of effort on the promotion side too, man. Bellator's got to stop having to stick up their butt. PFL's got to grow up a little bit. They're babies in the game,
Mm-hmm.
so they got to put a lot more promotion behind their guys. I know they're working on the events and putting a structure together. They have a phenomenal structure so far with their whole, you got the tournament, then you fight for a meal. Like it's game show mixed with the UFC, bro. It's amazing.
Yes.
But they gotta get more fighters in there, man. Like I said, if
Yeah.
Francis goes, like the question is who's gonna follow.
Well,
Like
Costa.
it's gotta spark. Well, it's gotta spark a revolution, bro. It can't just be one. It can't be one. It can't be two. They
Mm,
gotta create. He's gotta go, and then it's gotta create a deep roster over there
yeah.
to draw attention and raise the level of their fighting, raise
Hmm.
the bar. Because I mean,
Yeah.
right now the way people look at it is UFC is the top of the bar. Like those are fighter wise, just not even show wise or name wise, just actual skill over the fighter. Like if you can go to the UFC, you go because that's where the best fighters go. And like we got to change that. And you need deep pools of badass motherfuckers. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
To do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the
Because
courage
like
and
the cool thing about the UFC is you go from top to bottom. You can see firefights, right?
100%. 100%. It's the premier organization, and it's the case. And the way I see it is, do you want to be, as a fighter, do you want to be famous, or do you want to be financially secure? No.
Bro, you got to figure out a way to be both. That's the only way you're
Well,
gonna make it.
not necessarily. I mean, because like I speak to fighters, and outside of the UFC, some fighters who aren't necessarily the hugest of household names are earning a pretty decent living in Bellator, a pretty decent living in PFL, decent in one. I mean, you know, they're not having to have a persona per se, like a WWE character, or
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
reckless and stuff. I mean, don't get it wrong. There is the showmanship. There's nothing wrong with showmanship and having and hyping your own personality up just to, get people interested. That's cool. But talking about people's moms and if you're a decent,
yeah.
that's
Uh,
just, that's we don't need
depends,
that.
yeah, depends on what you're here for. Honestly, because you're not wrong. There are a lot of teachers and police officers out here fighting to what I'm saying, stack a check that they're not gonna get at their regular job. And I think
Mm,
that's fire.
mm,
That's just another hustle for him. But there's no way in the world you're gonna work like a Kobe Covington. Like he worked towards a big check and got paid. He's one of those.
yes.
Like he got paid more than the assassin from the UK, Edwards. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like
Mm,
just because he got that check over and over again because he was running his mouth. You know what I mean? Like those guys that are not gonna do the persona, not gonna get the check. They're not gonna fight 5 times in a year. Like I was a UFC guy that came from the NFL. Like I'm tied for the. I think I might still be tied for the number one heavyweight. For fights in a year. Like I
in a
fought
year.
5 times in
Ye-
1 year, man. Yeah,
Yes.
and like
Yes.
that's not
And
something a
that's
regular heavyweight is gonna
and
do.
look and listen, let pat yourself on the back one more time. Short notice fight with Volk. Come on.
Yeah, 22 day notice. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yeah,
She.
so you're not gonna get that offer if you don't got a persona. You see what I'm saying? Like you're not
Mm,
gonna get those. You're not gonna get those kind of opportunities if you just a regular guy that's trying to what I'm saying, collect the check, get out the way. You might get lucky, like 1 out of 1 million, and fall in there. But 9 times out of 10, they're gonna call me, or they're gonna call Kobe, or they're gonna call Masvidal,
yes.
they're gonna call Leon, they're gonna call. You know what I mean?
Mm, mm,
They're
mm.
gonna they're gonna call Cyril, like, cause and look, even Cyril started talking now.
Yes, yes. It's more, I mean, the purest of it, it's sports. But let's not get it twisted. This is sports entertainment. Yeah. And we do have
Entertainment.
casuals. Yeah, this is it, man. So I get it, man.
It's
I
the
get
it's
it.
the it's the gift and the curse. It's the gift and the curse.
Yes. Me, as I say, me personally, I like the folk who maybe push the line a little bit, like, ooh, that was a little bit risque. But the one like, okay, here's a classic example. Sean Strickland.
Cool.
Like,
Okay, yeah. You don't feel like that's him,
I'm not
or do
I'm
you
not
feel,
dispute. No, I do think
or
that's
do you
him,
feel
but
like that's the character?
I think that's him, but I think as many people do, as I have multiple personas, everybody does. I think this is his his marketing persona. I don't I think he dials it down when the cameras aren't off and it's not MMA time. He'll still talk his
Yeah.
shit, but I don't think he talks the shit like he's talking like he's an interesting character. He's definitely an interesting character. Bryce Mitchell, another one, very
Yeah.
interesting
Oh,
country
yo,
boy.
that's my guy, bro. That's my guy. He's yo. So I think there's a difference from the two. Like I'm more of a Strickland. Like if you see me in the street, man, you're not gonna get what you see on TV. Like I'm a character, but like I'm gonna be real shit. Like listen, when I played in the NFL, bro, like people called me the Kraken in the middle of the street. You know what I mean? Like walking, play with the kids, like having me actually kiss their babies, like and not realizing like, yo, the Kraken is the devil's pet, brother. Like,
Yes, exactly.
but but at the end of the day, like I'm still Greg Hardy, I'm a person. Like so when they meet and see the person, it's like, oh my God, hold my baby and take a picture. Like
Mm,
but the Kraken that they see on TV, who they fell in love with, is a shit talking badass motherfucker that'll snap your neck whenever he feels like it.
yes,
Like
yes,
says what he
yes.
wants, does what he wants, and it's like, yeah, I went to private school. My mom's a cop. I'm reserved as hell. but
Mm,
but I have a persona. I'm an entertainer, and I enjoy that, bro. Like
yes,
that's I enjoy being the best. Like my thought process is like, yo, you climb the ladder and you dominate on the athlete side. Like that's the appreciation. That's the old fans. That's the your core
yes,
followers, and you do it for them. And then once you're at the top, man, and you handle your business over there, then you entertain for the world, and that
yeah,
adds value
of
to
course.
everybody, even your core fans, man. And that's fun for me, dude. I love
Yeah.
it.
No, I get it. I totally get it. It's again, it's having that balance. It's a balancing act, and each to their own
Yeah,
because everyone
balance.
has their own path and their own goals and things that they want to achieve and think, okay, this is the way I've got to be. It's
Yeah,
everyone will meet their trustfully will meet their ultimate goal. Like, yeah, man, I want to have £1 million house, dollar house, or whatever it is. I want all these cars or whatever. They're gonna get to that. I would just like for I trust and optimistic that the majority of the fighters can come away as healthy as possible. The chances are 60+% of them are not, but
no,
you know.
they're gonna leave lunatics, bro. They're gonna leave terrible people.
Mm. I mean, okay. Oh, here's another example. Again, we mentioned Stephen Bonner, terrible. I mean, you alluded to the healthcare and stuff. These are tangible things we can see. People putting it all on the line for our entertainment. And if you're not smart
Yeah.
as a fighter and don't do things outside of using your body as your means of making money and make smart investments, when your time is no longer able to be in these top promotions, and then you maybe then turn to wrestling and go on the local scene, making $200-300 a match, this isn't the things that you know, big stars, quote unquote athletes who, many people looked up to, we've got posters, remember their epic fights. They shouldn't be in that situation.
hmm
This is,
No, it's a shame. It's a shame, man. But when you build a structure around something, bro, it stands. And a
mm,
structure built around athletes is not an intelligent, successful model. It's a come in, get the promoter, get the big guy on top paid, and move out the way for the next generation or the next guy, so that we can keep
yeah.
entertaining the world. And the fans have been conditioned to accept that, like, oh, okay, Odell Beckham is old now, so let's cheer for somebody else. Like, oh, here's another fast guy that's making good catches. Odell only made that same catch that he made. Like, yes, it's spectacular, but he keeps making the same one. This guy looks different and has different color hair
Yeah,
and is 10 times younger. Let's watch him.
yeah.
Everybody, all the TV promotions are saying he's the new OBJ. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And then we just get traded up. So we look like, as opposed to like being in a regular business structure where like, yo, you fail, you succeed, you fail, you succeed, and the whole time you're climbing the ladder, you're gaining experience, you're gaining allies and
yes.
friends. We don't
Yes.
have any of that in the sports world, bro. We're losing all of that as we go up.
Yeah. All the leverage,
So like
everything. Yeah.
that's just the way it is. So by the time you're at your peak, man, and you've done all these things in this world, and everybody's so appreciative and grateful for you, you don't have anybody. You don't have nothing, and you didn't learn anything. You didn't end up with a tangible skill. You didn't like
Mm.
everything that you gave to your fans like is gone, brother. Like and they've moved on. So
Yes. This is
the best and the 1% goes and scrapes by like with ESPN tap dancing as an analyst or doing like you said local news covering shows or fighting for
yeah.
$200 doing what they can as opposed to
Yeah.
living like a legend, which they
Th-
are.
this is it. And in their own mind, they still have that legend kind of feeling and persona, but like it's not adding up. Like you haven't been able to physically manifest the things which will enable life to be more comfortable. So if you did need to have physiotherapy on a weekly, monthly basis, you've got the funds to be able to do that. You can dip in, you can say, look, I need more sales from this particular revenue stream that I've got, maybe that little restaurant now, that I bought 5 years ago. We need to up our sales somehow here. Let's look at that detailing shop I've got as well. Maybe I should sell that and just liquidate all that cash. We need to have multiple different revenue streams and not thinking of
Yo,
sports, like being within
and I
your
got
own
I got
sport.
I gotta say this. This is one thing that it's gonna blow your mind when I say it. All right. Nobody thinks about this because nobody's ever been in this position. But when you have a certain amount of money, you don't give a fuck about revenue streams.
I know
When you have
exactly
a
what you're
certain
talking
amount of
about.
access, yeah, when you have a certain amount of access, a second revenue stream doesn't even make sense.
Mm,
You double down on what's making you more and more money.
mm.
And that's what and logically from the streets, from anywhere you come from, that's what makes sense. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's just like, yo, like that's not for a person that didn't make it, that wasn't on the football field 24/7, that makes perfect sense. At the age 14, you could see it coming. It's like, yo, no, I need that, but that's why you can be 18 years old with a business. It's like, yo, you knew you wasn't getting to college on a football scholarship, brother. You had to start thinking.
Yes. Yes.
It's like me, I doubled down, I put all my eggs in one basket and I went. And then I started making more money than anybody on the planet. So like I wasn't worried about that other stuff. Like I didn't think I needed to learn anything because I was above and better than everybody else. And
Yes. Yes.
95% of people were trying to screw me because
Mm.
I'm dumb and liquid.
All right
So
then.
that's
So
I
how,
mean, like
so what was
you
the
gotta
nav?
think about that.
How did you navigate that then? As you say, you're young and you're successful, you're making all these money, and you've got these leeches and these managers and these agents trying to like. Did you have to literally lose before you? Oh, you're a snake. Okay, well, I need to
Hey, you
go and.
learn.
Mm,
Yeah, exactly. You learn. But then that's what we were talking about from at the very beginning of the conversation. We were talking about, bro. But when we learn, it's probably over with. Whereas, like, if you're in the workforce, if you're anywhere else, bro, like you can afford that learn. You can learn, and people will carry you on and be like, okay, come on back, second chance. And it was
yes.
like, yo, we get a second chance. Like, yo, he's a piece of shit fuck boy. He blew his chance that he worked his whole life for harder than we did while we were partying. He was going to work in school and practice every day, but he's still a piece of shit and worse than us. So fuck him. But he gets a second chance. Like that shit don't make sense, bro. Like
Mm,
nobody's gonna want to hire you. Nobody wants to work with you. Nobody wants to do this because like all they remember is well he dropped this pass. He fucked up our Super Bowl chances. He's a dummy. Like he's
mm.
100 times smarter than you. He remembers all the plays. He knows 3 playbooks, and he went to college. Like fuck are you talking about? It's just his mindset and perception is different than y'all's. And what I just said was just a little way that people don't like. You can formulate thoughts and processes about us, but you don't really see it how we see it. And if I put like, bro, it's like lottery winners. Like if we went out, we should do a whole TV show, bro. After like I'll run a year, I make like a mil something in a year for fighting. We take $100,000 and we just give it to a bum nigga, bro. Watch them. Just watch what they do. Watch their actions. Just because like
Mm.
one, I like to bless people, and I thought it would be fun to do, and we can use it as a tax write-off. How do we do it? But like let's just see what happens. Like their whole mindset's gonna change, and then when it's gone, they're gonna
Yes.
have clarity and foresight, but they don't have the money no more, so they can't do
Mm.
shit about it. And
Mm.
that's what I'm talking about. Like, but people want to form thoughts and ideas about us and not understand what they don't understand.
That's facts right there,
If that
man.
makes sense.
it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. And clearly, as you said, you are. I mean, what level are you educated to, Greg?
Oh, bro, I went to. You ever seen The Blind Side?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That movie with Sandra Bullock? That's my
yeah.
high school. I went to private school there. I went to Ole Miss. I graduated college with graphic design and English. And
Yeah.
I done one or two trade schools. I'm in school for real estate, and I'm probably gonna go back and get my
Okay,
master's,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. You
Hella,
see,
hella educated.
yeah,
But like,
I
I
can
had to.
tell, Greg. I can tell. I can
It's
tell. I can
it's
tell.
crazy. Oh yeah, and you know, and if you ask anybody like that doesn't know me, I'm a big dummy. But that's the persona, bro. Like I'm a D, like I'm a clobberer.
Mm. You
But
see, this is
that's my WWE
that's
profile.
well, look, they fear an articulate black male with money. They all do that, unfortunately.
I'm not a
Um,
fan favorite.
it is what it is, man. You're playing to your strengths, man. You're destroying the weaknesses. And we got something coming up, sporting wise. We got some
Bro,
BKFC.
17.
Yay, yay. So what's the
There's some
thoughts, man? What's
banger
the thoughts?
coming.
Destruction and terror.
Switching back to the persona. Yeah, switching back to the persona. It's gonna be a
Yay.
whole lot of blood and guts on the ground, bro. Like, yo, we're going in. I'm not playing. I've been excited for a while to get into this joint and just show everybody, like, yo, I'm taking over fight sports, man. Like,
Yes.
it's been a long time coming. Y'all tried to divert it every way possible, but like this is the emergence of a monster. And I think yo, the 17th out in Albuquerque is gonna be the time to show that, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, preparation. Like I've heard bits and pieces of like how you're preparing your hands and stuff. Like what kind of things are you doing?
Bro, we've already went through the roofs. So we start every camp already in camp. We stay ready, so we have to get ready.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like I use that football schedule year round, man. So I'm a different kind of fighter, anyways. But for this one, we've been doing more elevation and, like you said, hand training, just to get my hands used to being beat up, like
Mm,
to feeling wrecked. Because like I don't want to get in there and bang it up a weird way and it's starting to affect how I think and my strategies and different stuff like that. And then I want to get up to that high mountain air and then can't breathe and then I have to
yes.
resort to you know cave caveman brawl. That ain't my style. I'm an
Mm,
educated banger.
of
So that's
course.
really what we've been focusing most on.
Mm. And trustfully, as you said, educated banger. Obviously, there's going to be some headshots, but we're going to be a lot more selective with these liver and body shots because I don't feel like in big and I'm going to be honest, I don't watch much of it. I don't watch much of it. I'm clearly going to watch when you're fighting. That goes without saying. But from what I've seen, I mean, Chris
Thank you,
did
thank
quite a
you.
lot of like, working the body and stuff. I think, especially you got no gloves on. There's no point in just banging in the in on your face all the damn time. Let's mix this shit up. Let's go to the body. Get that guard lowered down a bit, and obviously chop at that head where appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a different kind of fighter when you think about BKFC, man. They are mostly brawlers, like
Yeah.
they're it's kind of like PFL when it first started, man. They're just now getting in actual fighters into the organization and putting on big shows, but they were putting on big shows with regular brawlers.
Mm,
So like that's probably why it wasn't a lot of body shots being seen. These guys are here to take people's heads off. Like it's
yes.
headshot.
Yes.
What my boy said, headshot dead. Like that's all they
Yes.
care about. One and done. Like, and I said, like, for most real fighters, that ain't how we thinking. Because like, yo, I gotta fight in 2 months, and I gotta fight 2 months after that. Like, I can't afford a broken orbital. Like,
Mm,
I win the fight and I break my orbital, I lose still. Like, I get paid
yes.
and we have a party, but like, I lose.
Hmm. Because broken
So I think
orbital,
they're
you're
just now
looking,
getting that caliber.
that's
Six
like
months,
what, six
six
months in it? I was
months,
gonna say, yeah, yeah. Woo.
6 months, easy, bro. Like you got 2 months of mandatory sit down just from the commission. Then you got 2 months of rehab just to get back to regular, and then you got like 2 months of like training because you wouldn't have been able to train because you can't see out that joint. I just had it actually. That my
Damn.
one of my fights in the UFC. I was whooping somebody's behind and got too excited and ran in on that Australian cat and he closed his
Oh.
eyes and stuck his fist right in my eye. I swear to God, the worst punch ever. Like I didn't even feel it. It wasn't crazy hard. It was just like, boop, right up in there. 6 months.
Um,
So yeah,
ooh,
bro. That's probably why you don't see a lot of body shots because they ain't body shot kind of guys. But I predict a lot more, even in this event, because you got Austin Trout in there. You got a couple of high level fighters in there. The female champ, she's a monster too. She's probably with a lot of body shots, man. I know Lorenzo Hunt's gonna be just throwing headshots.
mm,
I can't speak for him, but like I think you're gonna see a lot more technical boxing, a lot more educated killers in there coming soon.
that's gonna be dope, man. That is gonna be dope. We're very much looking forward to that. Hey, did you ever think about, or have you contemplated, I don't know about contract wise, throwing your hat in for this open weight Muay Thai Grand Prix at one championship?
I don't even know what that is, but like I'm about to go Google it right now. Talk
Ye-
to me here.
Then let me break it down for you, sibling. Chatri Sittatong has announced an open weight, so anybody can enter Muay Thai rules for $1 million.
What?
Yes, yes,
Where is
yeah.
this? And what? Are you for real,
I'm being for real. Only one
bro?
fighter has been announced so far, and he's a lightweight on the record. But they in one a lightweight means it's a middleweight. No, welterweight.
Yeah,
So it's a weight up in essence. But yeah, man.
yeah. I gotta call. I gotta make a call after we get off of this. Then
Yeah,
of that.
man. You gotta do that
Listen, yo,
there.
I gotta get ready for my next practice, but
Yes.
I do want to say a couple things. You gotta look out for your boy in grappling tournaments coming up. You gotta look out for your boy in this Muay Thai thing because I'm about to go try to get on that. You gotta look out for me for boxing. You gotta look out for me for boxing. You gotta look out for me for the bare knuckle scene, bro. Like there's no stopping it. Like I'm about to devour every single one of these champions at the top of these sports, man, and it's gonna be fun. Like I feel like the next step for me is just really like a little TV show, just following the progress.
Yeah, man.
So
That
if you
sounds
got
good.
some people, if you got some promoters out there, if you got some guys out there that's got some tournaments in the UK, you tell them you put them out there for me, please. You tell them invite Greg Hardy, reach out, contact. I'll fly myself over there and we'll bang them up. We'll bang
Yeah,
it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
I'll choke them out. We'll kick it out, whatever it takes. Let's entertain the world, baby.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Hey, Greg, throw all your social medias out, website details, and all that there, and I'll make sure I put the links below in the description.
At me Greg Hardy Jr. on Instagram, at me Greg Hardy Jr. everywhere else. It's your boy. Hit me up. Follow me on YouTube. Download my music on iTunes, SoundCloud, all the platforms. Just G Greg Hardy Jr. New music, new fights. We in this joint.
Yeah, yeah.